applied for the CERSCA grant, the travel grant, in order to present at a conference in Hawaii. I presented the first chapter from my my thesis project in Hawaii. So that was great, and it was good to get like professional feedback from people who didn't know me, from people who weren't familiar with my project, and they were able to look at it from more of a distance, I guess.
I got 2 CERSCA research grants. Got one last year and got one for this year. And those grants both went towards my research in Haiti. So I've been working on this project for about almost 3 years now. I've been thinking about it. Looking at the environmental factors in developing like Northern Haitian identity. And what I've been doing is been going and interviewing a small collection of people from each community all across the northern part of Haiti and trying to figure out what makes Northern Haitians unique. Because there's something different about the separation in the country, the North and South. And I just enjoy going there and learning more about just local history, what doesn't get written down.
Not often, but every so often you get a chance to work with someone you really, really admire. And this was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to work on an international study that's based out of the Middle East and on a subject that I'm really interested in, which is trauma, and to work with someone I really admire and get along with. Yeah, it was just, there was no question. I was absolutely interested in it.
It was definitely the highlight of my last semester.
We researched, we surveyed teachers, and we did interviews over the phone, and we kind of put together things. And so that particular opportunity was really neat because it helped me understand what was needed in the process of creating a manuscript and getting it published.
I think it's almost essential because you're getting the dedicated time to work with a graduate student. And that's the reason why students go to graduate school, is to get specialized training with a person that is knowledgeable in the field. And I think once you put somebody who is motivated with somebody else who is a little more experienced, you're going to get something special out of that enterprise.
So when I came here to the CEGE program, there were other people that were working on their thesis, even though it was like in different topics. I felt like when they expressed themselves, like, oh, I'm feeling that same way.
Having the writing support, having the data analysis support really made a difference for the students. Certainly, the thesis is the biggest obstacle in our program. Students who are in the grad program, they're generally good at taking classes. They're generally good at keeping up with their homework and doing well on exams, and don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to the thesis, which is more of a self-directed, self-driven project that doesn't quite have the same structure and deadlines, I think a lot of students really struggle with that. And having support that maybe builds structure into the process, I think has really been beneficial.
She started as a student. I think she ended as a person in the profession, a scholar in our profession, a teacher in our profession, and with a professional way of presenting herself in the world, and with the confidence to do that too.
So you could see a student make the move from thinking of her own work in her very narrow discipline or a very narrow slice of it, and then to think about what that means in a national sense or in an international sense even. To think of herself as part of a larger chain or larger system of intellectuals and academic work.
I learned a lot. I grew a lot. I challenged myself. A lot of the requirements challenged me. I learned the skill of, okay, how do I get through articles? How do I pull out the important points? How do I absorb all of this information? And I can definitely say I've grown with that, being able to read a lot very quickly and grasp the main ideas. Being able to write. Part of graduate school involves a lot of writing, but being able to write, being able to change my style of writing from more of a prose to scientific writing. And there's a huge difference.
One student who I only worked with as a teaching assistant, she wasn't also involved in other research projects. I would say that her ability to communicate really improved, and our working relationship really improved. So I was the chair of her thesis committee, and I think that our working together in the TA instructor roles helped our other working relationship.
She's amazing. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I would have enjoyed it as much as I have, just the graduate experience without having her in my corner, because she's really been a great support. And she's been there to answer all the questions I have, and she's patient, and she's positive, and even whenever I'm feeling like, oh gosh, why am I doing this, she's the one that's been there saying, oh yeah, no worries, you got this. Like, just having somebody there that you can ask questions, or if you're stuck. And so I think she's made the experience that I've had here at Stan State, worthwhile. She's connected me to the school, she's connected me to programs that I would otherwise not taken advantage of. And then, giving me the opportunities like, teaching.
From that first opportunity I got with Dr. Groen, ever since then, I've always been able to go back to him to get help on my research in Haiti, especially. He's always been very, very helpful. These other grants I got, he's the one who also supported me.
Are there any CEGE programs or like CERSCA mini grants or things of that sort that you would recommend graduate students to do?
All of them. Just all of them, right? Like,